Hello everyone, you're welcome to today's tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how you can be able to use Excel to calculate the CGPA of students in a Nigerian university. With us on the screen is a fictitious result of students in economics department in a Nigerian university. So you will notice that if, for example, I put here as F, you will notice how the carryovers appear that yes, he has a carryover in GST, and you also notice that his CGPA has dropped. If I should put here as F again, you will notice how the CGPA has dropped and his carryover now has increased to 2. Now you notice that if I should remove a course here, you also see that his credit unit have reduced to 23 and also his CGPA has increased a little bit. So I'm going to teach you how to use Excel. But before we go into the practical aspect on how to use Excel to calculate the CGPA, let us go through the overview of what CGPA actually is. Now, what is CGPA? CGPA stands for Cumulative Grade Point Average. It is an educational metric that is used to measure a student's overall academic performance across all courses in a semester. Now, what this means is that it is an educational metric. Just like how inflation is a metric that is used to measure how price changes, GDP is also a metric that is used to measure the amount of goods and services that a country produces in a year. So is CGPA. If you want to know how students are performing in a university, you need a metric, and that metric is what we call cumulative grade point average, which is CGPA. The next thing we're going to be looking at is GPA. What is GPA? GPA stands for grade point average, and it is also an educational metric used to measure students' academic performance for a single semester. Now you might be asking, what is the difference between CGPA and GPA? The difference is that GPA is just for a particular semester. On the other hand, CGPA is the cumulative of all GPAs for a student. So if a student have studied for like 4 semesters, each semester have a GPA. But if you want to combine the 4 semesters, we'll call that CGPA. The next thing we're going to be looking at is how is GPA calculated. GPA is calculated by dividing the total grade point earned by the total number of credit units attempted across that semester. It is commonly expressed on a 4.0 scale, which is common in the US, on a 5.0 scale, which is common in our country, Nigeria, or on a 10.0 scale, which is common in India. Now, to calculate the student GPA, all you need to do is you have to divide the total grade points by the total credit unit. Now, you might be asking, what is grade point? Grade point is just simply the point that attached to each grade that a student gets in a course. So, for example, you get an A, that is 5 points. You get B, that is 4 points. You get C, that is 3 points. You get D, that is 2 points. You have E, 1 point, and F, you have 0 points. So the points that are being attached to each grade is what we call grade point. Now the next thing is credit unit. What is credit unit? Credit unit is just simply the units that are attached to each course that a student studies in that semester. So if a student, and the credit unit depends on the course. For example, a student that is studying economics in a Nigerian university should know that microeconomics and macroeconomics are his main courses. So those courses will tend to have high credit units than maybe a bold course from accounting or business admin department. And it is also worthy to note that for a credit unit of a 3 credit unit, for a course that has a 3 credit unit, what that means is that you are going to be offering that course for 3 hours. A course with 2 credit units, it means you'll be offering that course for 2 hours per week. Now that we've done the theoretical aspect, let's move to how to calculate GPA and CGPA. So take for example, we have a student offering just 4 courses: Eco 101, Eco 105, Eco 107, and GST 101. And for Eco 101, his total credit unit is 3. Same with Eco 105, but for Eco 107, his credit unit is 2. And for GST 101, the credit unit is 1. So let's say the student had an A in Eco 101, B in Eco 105, D in Eco 107, and C in GST 101. So how do we calculate his grade point for that semester? Now, to calculate his grade point average, all you have to do is, remember we said A is 5 points. So if he got an A, that is 5 points. 5 is going to be multiplied by the credit unit for that course, which is 3. So 5 multiplied by 3, you have 15. For the next course, Econ 105, the credit unit is 3 and he got a B. And we know that B is 4 points. So it's going to be 4 multiplied by 3, that is 12. And the next course, Echo 107, he got a D. And D, we know D is 2 points. So 2 multiplied by the credit unit 2, which is equals to 4. And for the last course, that is GST 101, he got a 1 credit unit. And it's a 1 credit unit, and he got a C. And we know that C is 3 points. So 3 multiplied by 1 is equals to 3. So when you add 15 with 12, 4 and 3, you're going to have 34. So to calculate the grade point average, remember we said it is the total grade points divided by the total credit unit. So in this case, his total grade point is 34 divided by his total credit unit is going to be 3 plus 3, that is 6 plus 2, 8 plus 1, 9. So 34 divided by 9 is 3.78. So his GPA for that semester is 3.78. Now let's look at the next semester. The next semester, he is offering also 4 courses: Econ 102, Econ 104, Econ 108, and GST 102. And for Econ 102, he got an A, and it is also a 3 credit unit course. So we know that A is 5 points, so 5 multiplied by 3, that is 15. For Econ 104, he got a B, and we know that B is 4 points, and that course is a 3 credit unit course, so it's going to be 4 multiplied by 3, that is 12. For Econ 108, he also got a B, but in this case, the course is a 2 credit unit course, so it's going to be 4 points multiplied by the 2 credit unit, that is 8. And for GST 102, he got an A, and that is a 1 credit unit course, so that is 5 points multiplied by 1 equals to 5. So when you add all these total grade points, you are going to get 40. Now 40 divided by his credit unit, which is 9, is going to be what? 4.44. Now that is his GPA for that particular semester. So to calculate the CGPA, remember we said the difference between CGPA and GPA is that CGPA is the cumulative of GPA. So we're going to add his GPAs for the first semester and the second semester. His GPA for the first semester, his total grade points for the first semester is 34. His total grade points for the second semester is 40. So we're going to add the GPs of the first and second semester and then divide it by the total number of credit units for the first and second semester. So we're going to have 34 plus 40 all over 9 plus 9. 34 plus 40. So 34 plus 40 all over 9 plus 9. 34 plus 40 is 74. All over 9 plus 9 is 18. So when you divide 74 by 18, you're going to have 4.11. So that is his CGPA for that semester. So you've gotten an overview of what CGPA is. We've also looked at how to calculate it manually. The next video, we're going to look at how to use Excel to calculate CGPA.